Hello students, welcome to Nilachal Polytechnic. Myself Amadendra Mishra is going to teach you the subject hydraulic machine and fluid power. Here in this video I am going to explain about the different components of a hydraulic control system. In previous class we are continuing with the schematic diagram of a hydraulic system. In a hydraulic system we are finding out all these components are there. There is a fluid tank, filter, hydraulic pump, pressure regulator, control valve, and there is a cylinder piston arrangement for lowering and lifting of load. The fluid tank is used to reserve the liquid and also it provides the required amount of liquid which is to be fed to the hydraulic pumping system. The hydraulic pump receives the filtered oil or liquid by removing the contaminants and hazardous materials from the oil. Now the hydraulic pump increasing the pressure and thereby the hydraulic pressurized oil can be regulated by using the pressure regulator, where we can decrease or increase the pressure of the oil before it is entering into a control valve. The control valve allows the amount of oil pressurized form at the point A and the B for the piston cylinder arrangement. The load lifted or raised that will be done by the piston rod. The piston rod is attached with the piston reciprocating inside the cylinder from A point to B point. While the piston is moving from top A point to B point, during that time the weight is lowered. While the liquid is fed from the B point, during that time the piston moves from lower to the upward and thereby the piston is raising the load. Now we'll go for details about the different components of the hydraulic system. First component is that prime mover. The main function of prime mover is to provide the mechanical power to that of the hydraulic pump. The hydraulic pump receives the mechanical power from prime mover and it converting the mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. Basically, the prime movers are IC engines, turbines, which may be used for the supply of mechanical energy to that of the hydraulic pump. The hydraulic pump is used to provide the high pressurized oil which is present at 1 atmospheric pressure in the container or reservoir. Let's go for the hydraulic pump. As the name indicates that it is a hydraulic pump, these pumps are used to convert the mechanical energy into fluid energy. Basically, these pumps are used for the hydraulic oils or liquids. The hydraulic pump is basically used for the pressurizing of hydraulic oil that is stored in the storage tank and it delivers it to the rest to the hydraulic circuit. Before you are going to study about the hydraulic pump, we have to study the characteristics of the hydraulic pump. First of all, there is a flow rate capacity, power consumption, drive speed, pressure delivered at outlet and efficiency of the pump. First of all, flow rate capacity. Flow rate capacity means this is the indication of how much amount of liquid that can be obtained per second at the outlet of the pump. how much volume of water can be supplied to the hydraulic circuit. That is characterized as flow rate capacity. Power consumption. Power consumption means what is the amount of mechanical power or electrical energy given to the prime mover, and that prime mover also converting the mechanical energy from electrical energy, and it is providing the mechanical energy to that of the hydraulic pump. So we have to see that what is the speed with which the hydraulic pump is rotating. Pressure delivered at the outlet means what is the outlet pressure of liquid after it is collected at the delivery end of the pump. Efficiency of the pump. We are providing the mechanical energy to the pump and we are getting the hydraulic energy, and we have to take the ratio of hydraulic energy to that of the mechanical energy supplied, and we are getting the mechanical efficiency, or that is your efficiency of the pump. These are the two figures of typical example of hydraulic pump. Basically there are two types of pump. One is positive displacement pump, another is non-positive displacement pumps. Positive displacement pump means where the discharge of liquid is constant in a cycle. As the positive displacement pump where it is used in industrial fluid power applications, the output flow of fluid is constant and it is independent of the system pressure. Some examples of positive displacement pumps are reciprocating pump, piston pumps, gear pumps and vane pumps. In a later classes we will go for study about these pumps. In another case, that is non-positive displacement pump, where the volume of fluid is not constant, it is of high volume and it is used for low pressure. It is a hydrodynamic pump. The fluid is pressurized by the rotation of the propeller and the fluid pressure is proportional to the rotor speed. As in case of our centrifugal pump, we have seen that there is an impeller. The rotation of the impeller causing the pressure to increase the atmospheric pressure of liquid to the high pressure of the liquid. And we are going to basically using these pumps according to the requirement on the hydraulic circuit. These are the typical example of hydraulic pumps. There is a external gear pump, internal gear pump, zero tear pumps and low pumps. Also vane pumps, piston pumps are also used for the pressurizing of liquid. Let us come for the gear pump. What do you mean by gear pump? In the earlier stage we know that pump is going to use the mechanical energy for the production of hydraulic energy. Gear pump indicates that the pump is utilizing two meshed gears and by which we are getting the high pressurized oil or liquid from that pumping unit. As shown in the figure, we are having two types of gears are there, and there is a external gear pump, there is a internal gear pump. This is the most common type of pump for the hydraulic fluid power application, and the gear pump is invented in 1600 by Johannes Kepler. The gear pumps are widely used in chemical installation to pump high viscosity fluids. As shown in the figure, we are having a external gear pump where there are two gears are there. One is driver gear, another is a driven gear. The external surface of two gears are meshed with each other. Meshing means that is the teeth of one gear is placed on the clearance of tooth of another gear. Both are externally meshed. So due to the rotation of the gear, there is a pressure difference takes place. This is the inlet of the pump. This is the outlet of the pump. So at initial stage, the vacuum pressure is created inside the casing. Thereby, the liquid is entering into the casing of the gear pump. Inside the gear pump casing, it is filled with the liquid. After that, it is continuously rotating the gears, and thereby we are increasing the area of the liquid to increase its pressure, and thereby we are getting the high pressurized oil at the outlet. In this way, the low pressure of oil is converted into high pressurized energy. In another case, there is an internal gear pump where this is the first gear, and this gear is meshed with another external surface of the gear. As the internal surface of the gear is meshed with another surface of the gear, hence it is known as your internal expanding gear, or that is your internal gear pump. This is the inlet of the gear pump, this is the outlet of the gear pump. As shown in the animation, the first gear whose internal surface is attached or meshed with the internal gear, we have seen that during this process there is a liquid is entering inside the casing, and during this meshing of gears the amount of liquid is delivered at the outlet. In case of gear pump, we have to remember that the clearance between two teeth of the gear will provide us the amount of liquid which is moving from inlet to the outlet. And we have seen that this is the clearance space, and this clearance space is the amount of oil that is pressurized at the outlet. This is the surface, or this is the clearance surface which allows the liquid amount of liquid delivered at the outlet. Let's go for another type of gear. There is a vane pump. First of all, vane pump is consisting of a rotor is there. This is a rotor. Upon the rotor, the vanes are attached. Vanes means these are the rectangular rods, rectangular cross-sectional rods, which are placed on the slots provided evenly upon the rotor of the pump. This is the shaft of the pump. This is the rotor. These are the slots. Inside the slots, the vanes are placed upon it. The shaft is mounted eccentrically inside the casing of the pump. And why this is in turn? So while the suction of the liquid is entering inside the casing, during that time what we have to do? We have to create a pressure to increase. So by using the eccentrically mounting of the shaft inside the casing, we are going to increase the pressure of the air, that is your oil, before it is moved at the delivery end. This is the smaller area and this is the bigger area. So the oil that is from the inlet is gradually increasing its area and thereby increasing its pressure, and that high pressurized air or liquid is discharged at the outlet. This is a rotational type of vane pump. During the rotational motion of the vane, there is a centrifugal force is causing. The centrifugal force from the rotation throws the vane outside to form a seal against a fixed casing. As the rotor revolves, the partial vacuum is created at the suction side of the pump and drawing the liquid.